Yeah, yeah. So welcome once again to Daybreak News with the Guyanese Critic. I'm coming to you from what is Riverview. Yes, Mr. President.
This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. I came out here myself to verify tonight. Look here. The pump is torn off. The main pump to drain the city is torn off.
Wow.
This is what we're talking about.
Why the pump turn off, Chief? Any idea?
The pump, up to today, we said the pump was beyond 24 hours.
No, but you got open the coker, but you don't open the coker yet. So you turn off the pump and you ain't open the coker yet?
But this is what we're talking about. This is what we're dealing with in the city.
Wow.
This is the main pump to drain the city. And here we are. And that is why I have to come out myself. Whilst we have to deal with the heavy rainfall, we have to deal decisively with the irresponsibility and the negligence. I have to come out here at this hour to find this, that the pump is turned off. Only today, in the media, on social media, a big hullabaloo about the pumps. We're talking about keeping the pumps running. The city council doing their job. But this is what we're faced with.
So for those of you...
we have to run this pump, a major pump, to drain the city, and here is that the pump is turned off.
So funny enough,
Alexander Village, West from Belt, East from Belt, all of these areas depend on this pump. Anyway, let's go. Well, you're not too long, turn it off. The pump is turned off. The pump is supposed to be on all the time.
so the pump, the president, in checking the pumps to ensure that the pumps are working himself, come to find a pump attendant sleeping, and he said he just turned off the pump, but he has not done anything about the coker. And you know, politics has played out to some extent. Now look at the height of the water outside is down. Look at the height of the water here. So the pump is turned off. A pump that is here and can function is turned off. Water is building up, and if rain come and meet this water, people's houses will flood. The pump attendant is sleeping. He said he only moments ago turned off the pump. Yeah? So you ain't got no light? Well, let me get the light for turn on the pump now. How you got turned on? Let me get a light. So you tell city, you tell the mayor you gotta get light? So the pump now comes on as we're here, and the pump attendant says he doesn't have any light. Funny, only today, moments ago I was reading a post by former Minister Patterson. If you go to his page and copy that post and keep it for him. He said it's highly unlikely. He had been doing this for 5 years, and it's highly unlikely that pump attendants would fall to sleep. The president himself came. I am walking behind the president and saying this is just a normal assessment. But the president himself has come and witnessed a sleeping pump attendant, a pump that is not working. And if that itself is not sabotage, well then, what is? This is an amazing day. And these things you can only witness with the Guyanese Critic and Daybreak News. Because we do it live, we bring the facts to you like nobody else does. Because we want you to see firsthand and experience firsthand what we experience. We try not to edit except for vulgar language, content that is not worthwhile viewing. But tonight, for those of you who just tuned in, let me just run back what's going on. This morning, there's been quite a bit of flooding across Georgetown. Ministers have found out. Minister in Agriculture, Minister Zulfikar, responsible for drainage and irrigation across Guyana, made claims that it might be a deliberate attempt to sabotage Georgetown. Minister of Communities, Nigel Darmlal, echoed the same sentiments. Minister Juan Edgel, the Minister of Public Works, said so this morning on the Guyanese Critic Live. And the mayor came out with a statement. A number of other opposition members came out and had different things to say. Tonight, the president himself of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana came out and visited the sites to ensure that residents for communities across Georgetown are not flooded, because you got to keep pumping the water to ensure that when the rain comes, it doesn't meet up with full trenches. The president himself is on the ground. President Ali is on the ground to witness this. Now, in that process, the president goes to pump at Riverview and finds the pump off, the trench filled with water, and the pump attendant asleep, and the corker door not open. Now you witness the pump attendant deciding to turn on the pump while I was there. The pump attendant made claims that there's no lighting there. How can these pumps operate successfully, efficiently, if the pump attendant seems to be out, is an ageable man? The place is muddy. The pump attendant seems to be out of his mind stone. He just waked up and is confused as to what's going on. Imagine you're just an ordinary pump attendant and wake up to find the president in front of you. You know, it's like no nightmare. A nightmare that nobody has ever experienced. The president? Oh my. Oh my. So the president is checking another location. Yet again, the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana is on the ground himself and assessing whether the pumps are working.
Why the pump not on? Why the pump not on?
He said it.
No, but the coke is not open now. That's not right now. No, but it can't take the
Wow. Wow, so the coker is not open. Wow.
No, but the pump, when the coker man come, you turn the pump off and you open the coker. We spoke about this today, see? This one I just did. I took off the pump 20 past 10.
Wow, another pump. Pump is off and the coker is not open.
Over 20 minutes finished, the coke is open.
Wow.
I can't rush the doors to the pump.
Wow.
Well, then the pump should be running. If today we said this, that the pump got to be running all the time. Do you have fuel? Yes, Skipper. You have fuel. So there's no excuse. Skipper, again, I'm saying one thing. If you have on the pump, you can't know when the door is ready to open. Listen, 20 minutes now. 20 minutes from when you turn the phone off, with the pump off.
Wow. Wow. This engine is cool, man. The engine been half longer than. Mr. President, anything specific to say with this situation? This seems to be getting out of hand now.
Well, this situation speaks for itself. You know, Critic, we can be investing as much money as we want. If we don't have the type of responsibility in the system, and when it comes to issues of natural disasters and national emergency, it has nothing to do with politics. But everybody has to put their shoulders to the wheel and get this done. Only today, you were part of the media, you would have heard a lot of statements being made about pump being turned on and off. And here we are seeing the same situation. We know the water has to be drained off. Today, an instruction was given for us to continuously run the pump, and you are seeing for yourself. And my position is, people has to be held responsible in this country. There must be consequences for your action. And unless we are prepared to hold people responsible, the investments we are making we're not going to see the full potential or the full results of the investment. And at the end of the day, people suffer. I'm out here tonight. The ministers are in every single part of this country going through very dangerous conditions to get help to people. We understand that this is a national emergency and we're responding to it that way. But it cannot be a national irresponsibility. Tonight I decided to check all the pumps because a lot has been said. A lot has been said. The mayor came out and blamed the government. We made it very clear that the government has made the investment in the pumps and all the facilities. You have the fuel and everything. And here is it, the pump is not working. The pump is turned off.
Right, Mr. President. You would have heard from President Ali there himself as to what exactly is transpiring. And again, the Guyanese Critic is coming to you from on the ground in Georgetown with President Ali, who is assessing the pump. Funny enough, this is the second pump that is to be turned off in Georgetown. One has to ask oneself, if the trench is full and rain comes now, what will happen? If there's a heavy downpour of rain now, one pump attendant sleeping, the other pump attendant said he got to turn off the pump before he opens the cocoa door. Right? What happens now? That is the big question. Oh my. This is unbelievable. You could only get this on Daybreak News, by the way. There's a reason you have to like, follow, and share Daybreak News. There is only one news agency in Guyana that you could see the unbelievable. First thing, the president is on the road in the night while all of his ministers are fanned out across the country, assessing the situation to ensure the safety of the citizens, the president of the country. You have had past presidents who has ruled out, or we have seen a don't care attitude and approach. This president is on the ground and ready for action. Now this is another pump. Let's see what's the situation here.
Look, here again. The pump is off, the coke is not open.
Oh my God.
The same situation throughout the city.
Oh
Even when the water go down, the pump has to be turned off to open the coke, nothing. The coke is closed, the pump is off. And this one we drain which area? Princess Street?
North and south.
North and south of Princess Street. That is the area this one drains. Here again we have, look, they're calling for the operator. You can't find the operator. The engineers are now calling for the operator. This is what we're talking about. Where is the supervision? Where is the management? Why does the president have to come out here and see this in the city? The pump is off, the coker is closed, where is the operator?
Wow.
And this is what we are faced with.
Come in, Mr. President. Where's the operator? You find the operator?
No, we haven't found.
Wow, no operator. Pump off, sluice closed. No operator. The operator there, he gone out to come back? Oh shit, Auntie saying maybe he gone out to come back. Alright. So Georgetown, Guyana, Guyanese, you understand the severity of playing politics with the life, with people's lives. You're understanding now. You're understanding the severity of it. You're understanding the truth of the stories that you're being told. I can tell you, go to former Minister Patterson's page. He wrote an article. He put up a post suggesting that it's impossible for pump attendants to be sleeping. No, they're not only sleeping. Some of them are not there. The pumps should be pumping out as much water as possible to ensure that when the rain comes, the trench can accommodate the rain. Very, very sad situation. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. And if it weren't sci-fi movies creating some sort of possibility in my mind, I would have fainted. Honestly. As a young boy growing up, I looked at a lot of sci-fi movies, horror movies like Tales from the Crypt and so on. And you look at these things and it prepares you, although it's unbelievable, it prepares you for certain things. But nothing prepares you for this. The mayor came out and made a statement. Former Minister Patterson, who was the former Minister of Infrastructure, now Minister of Public Works, gave a statement, put a statement on his page, check his page, and said it is impossible. The government is blaming pump attendants. The president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana has come out himself in disbelief. He cannot believe that the information that he was receiving from his ministers are being put down by the opposition and their members. He could not believe, so he came himself to find pumps not working, pump attendants sleeping, pump attendant not at location, and hear how confused an organization the city council is. You will go and find this at other places. You will go and find this at other. Demi even got a phone for call the pump attendant for say, boy, they're coming there. We did 1 pump. We did 2 pump. 3 pump. At a distance of just corners apart. And they are all caught in the act. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is unreal. There's no pump on here. I hope the coker is on. Now the coker is being opened. No. No, the coker is being opened. So the message is out. It's just coming up, man. The flow rate now coming up. Wow.
All the way to the temple, yeah. Kingsland, Princess Victoria, so with this side here, and with this side it's both full of everything.
Yeah, this is the field last week. So, but depend on the it is clearly. It's every time to one.
And you pumped all like that, like to during the rain.
Yeah.
That is why this section, that is why you aren't hearing how much flooding.
Yeah, because I mean, like, picture all these roads are so, you know, I mean, like, better rain.
No, I know, and I want to thank you because the area that this
yeah, this is a main road.
right, this open, this pump did well, and that is because you're doing the work.
Yeah.
You're here doing it. So you pump up to now, and then you stop and just pull up this, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, no,
So the president has thanked that pump attendant for doing his job. Again, you could take as long as a half an hour to pull up a door with a black and tackle like that. Oh, this is unbelievable. And only this morning I made a plea to the pump attendants. I beg the pump attendants to take this like if you were a doctor, you were a medical health professional, because of the fact that the job that you're doing is important. You know, you got old bedridden people. It's not easy for somebody who lives in a flat house, bedridden, to end up flooded. It's not easy, it's very hard, right? It's not easy. So although you're a pump attendant and nobody paid much attention and care to you, people are possible to tell you all kind of thing. You must know your importance. The main fact that you do your job effectively, you are doing a service to the people of this country. For those of you who have just tuned in to Daybreak News, the Guyanese Critic is reporting from what is known the Garden City of Georgetown. And I am in the presence of the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Well, I can say the convoy. And the President is doing an assessment himself on the ground late into the night, looking at the issues affecting Guyanese. The first stop the President made, there was a functioning pump, water pumping. The second stop he made at Riverview, the pump attendant was sleeping, the pump was off, and the cocoa was closed. Now, if you have a heavy downpour of rain, you'd end up having a situation of flooding in that case, because you have inches of rain fall within a matter of hours, and the drainage canal will not be able to take it off. That causes flooding and discomfort to Guyanese. Earlier this morning, we had flooding across many constituencies in Georgetown, of which I think we have 30. The mayor and city council and opposition members chose to play a blame game, suggesting that what the minister said, that the pump attendants slept away, was a blatant lie and the responsibility fell directly on the government. The President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana came out just within the last hour to see for himself, in disbelief at the accusations being laid against his ministers. It so happens the President has witnessed, and you will see on my live video, if you look earlier part of the video, you will see that the president witnessed himself sleeping. This pump is on.
And here is to see the pumps are working before they pull the coke up. And in the other instances where the pumps are turned off and the coke is done. So the idea is once the coke is done, the pump has to be working. So water is taken off continuously from the land.
Yes, Mr. President. So this trench drains the Lamaha. So it seems that and these pump attendants seem prepared since we're here. So this pump has to be working all the time?
Yes, 24 hours.
No, in the case like how the pump goes across the coca door.
Yeah, this pump has to be working all the time. Backward and this section here comes.
Oh, okay. So although the pump, the pipe for the pump goes across the coca, the door, what we call the sluice door, it comes back, it retracts, and then the sluice goes up. So the gentleman, that the president is being advised upon these things is the point man for NDIA. You would have seen for yourself, witness live on the Guyanese Critic. That's why you always have to be looking, or you will miss it. You'll have to go back to this live to witness a sleeping pump attendant for a serious area. I think that was the helps partially drain Albi's tongue. Oh my. For those of you who've just tuned into Daybreak News with the Guyanese Critic, I'm coming to you from Georgetown, and I'm on the trail of the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, who is on the road assessing how the pumps are operating and what would cause flooding in Georgetown. What would have caused last night flooding? Initial investigations suggest sabotage, a deliberate attempt to have flooding in Georgetown to embarrass the government. Ministers made accusations, and former ministers and the main city council responded, suggesting that that was a blatant lie, that it is not so, and they made claims or tried to put forward what are their facts. the president himself decided tonight to come out and see. In the process, the areas that are not flooding, it's been found are functioning effectively. The pump attendants are there. And if you go back to the earlier part of this video, you will find one pump attendant was sleeping, the pump was off, sleeping. The president, he woke up to the president in his face. He was sleeping, the pump was off, and hello. No. Yes, the pump attendant was sleeping, the pump was off, and the sluice door was down. So, no outflow of water. If rain came, you'd have had a case of flooding in that area. The president woke up the pump attendant. As much as just hours ago, former Minister of Infrastructure, David Patterson, wrote and suggested it is impossible for pump attendants to be sleeping. And it was a blatant lie by ministers. But you have witnessed this for yourself. You can tell the world that you saw it live on Daybreak News, the news agency that brings the news mostly live to you. Factual, untouched, and polished for you to make a decision as to what you are seeing. The undeniable fact is, if it is not a case of sabotage, it is a case of gross negligence. Because if you know flooding is going on, those pump attendants should be aware, they should be awake, and at the ready, draining and operating sluice and pumps at their most efficient. That is a must. So, to come and find pump attendants sleeping, that is a very unfortunate situation. Knowing the fact that this greatly affects our citizens. It wet up people's baby clothes, it wet up people's furniture, it damaged people's fridge. A fridge is not an easy thing to heist up and fetch and put somewhere. Now when you're heisting up your fridge, you gotta plug it out. You lose your food in your fridge. This is a very unfortunate situation. And the mayor and city council has to answer. And when the mayor is giving a statement, he should show the video of a sleeping pump attendant. He should show the video of sleeping pump attendant. Again, we're going to go back to the president, Ali, who is on the ground and assessing the pumps.
Look at what's going on here. You still have water in National Park. This pump is supposed to be run. This is the kitty pump. Very important pump. Supposed to be running 24 hours. Here we are. Still a lot of water to be drained off. Even when you drove down Carifesta in National Park itself, you will see that area is still flooded. And here we have the pump turned off. One of the most important pumps.
Oh, this is the pump door. So this is the pump door. This is where the water comes out from.
Here. And how much this pump is supposed to take off?
Like about 85,000 gallons per minute.
85,000 gallons per minute, approximately. Turned off. Can you hit and see if the operator is there?
The door is closed right now.
The door is closed, the operator is not here. This is what I'm talking about. There we go, the door is closed.
The pump attendant is coming. Hi brother. Why the pump off?
Just one just come off. So put on the next one now.
So it's on right now?
The just come off. So put it on the next one. You don't walk all to the pump together. Because there's not enough draft.
Okay, but I read my...
I'm going to put on the next one now.
So when you cut off the first one, you take a little sleep and then you decide to walk it.
No.
Yeah, I read, man. Oh, yeah, I read,
Don't
so.
sleep, don't sleep, no. This
Excuse me, why you lock up in here and the pump is not running?
No, I just
The pump is supposed to, no, listen.
Yes.
The pump is supposed, this place is supposed to be open, and this pump is supposed to be running 24 hours. That is what the government is paid for.
Yes, sir.
Why is this not happening?
Sir, one and the pump is what 1 ton at a time. You cannot put on all two, sir.
The pump, none of the pumps are on.
Just come off, so it's not for great to forget a little.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Come and take the book, sir.
Wow. Guyana can't be a real place. Oh my God. Oh my God. Imagine the president has to come on the ground himself. And we calling, you're waking up the man sleeping, the man see just turn off the pump. The man turn off the pump in his sleep. The man turn off the pump in his sleep. The pump attendant, we had to hit the door. The guy wake up with the eye red. Former Minister Patterson, you need to come. You need to go to Minister Patterson's page. Former Minister Patterson. You will see him talking about pump attendants not sleeping.
Last one is shooting no put on the pump.
Oh, so you put on the pump there now?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Wow, and it's just a turn of a switch, you know. Just put on the pump. My God, and there's no other outflow here than the pump. The pump needs to be operating all the time. My God. Wow. So this is what's supposed to be happening here. Look at this. This is what's supposed to be happening here. The mayor and city council has to answer for what is adding up to atrocities against the citizens of Georgetown. Let me just get a see inside there.
One guy walk, next one. Two pump. Now if this one walk, this one shut down.
All right, brother. The mayor and city council, Mayor Ubraj, I hope we could sit down and you could explain to the people of this country why we suffer this way while the blame game is played. Oh, God help us all. God help us all. God help Guyana. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. Now, here was the hurtful part. If we are unalive, the president came from all the way at the Medebank Wharf. Aren't you gonna call the pump attendants and find out what they're doing? Isn't there anybody checking the pump attendants with a motorbike to come across and see if everybody's pumping, what time they're pumping, what they're doing? Is the mayor and city council so incompetent that they just don't care about anything? Please, please, I just moments ago copy Mr. Patterson's article, David Patterson, former Minister of Infrastructure, and cut the piece where the sleeping pump attendants are and put it for him to see, for the world to see the atrocities that are being met out against Guyanese in the name of dirty politics. I should not be on a newscast upset, but this is too much. I am going across Georgetown behind the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, who had to come out himself and see to it that the issues affecting Guyanese are addressed. To see pumps not working, pump attendants sleeping, while the residents of Georgetown are being flooded. The mayor and city council has to answer for the atrocities that they are meting out on Guyanese. God help Guyana. This is another pump here. This is the Liliendal pump. After statements by the mayor and city council and former ministers to suggest that ministers in the government are lying about sabotage, the president decided to come himself on the ground. Any sound? Any sound?
Yeah, drop it.
Okay. The pump is on.
I don't know both on.
Wow. When it is a case you're in a country that the president himself has to come on the ground and expose the incompetence of civil servants. This country is in a worrying state, and President Ali himself has an uphill task. Obviously, the blame game cannot be played any longer, since that game has been played out at this time. The world sees the situation in Guyana. The president has witnessed it for himself. We have to hear what will be the explanations tomorrow by the opposition and the mayor and city council, since they're known to come up with amazing explanations.
Compare the excuses from the other guys and this operator here. He's been pumping for 24 hours now. Right? Yeah. So you're going to call me. Get me now with me. I'll clean it over there. So you clean it? Yeah.
To make sure things ain't coming and clog up the pump.
Yeah. Just possibly do it right now. That's good work. And this is the type of operators we need. In one night you can see examples of good operators, and we're seeing the result of that from the work they're doing. He's been pumping for 24 hours, as against the excuses we're having all night.
So this is Liliendal, the Liliendal pump. Many of you know, you're driving on the road, you see the two big red pumps. This is just before, when you're going up the East Coast, just before Movie Town. And this is what the operation looks like to ensure this is not in your home. To ensure that water is not in your home, we have to pump it out into the Atlantic Ocean. That is what has to be done. The president himself is on the ground here and doing assessment across Georgetown. Georgetown, the drainage of Georgetown, wholly and solely falls as the mandate or the job of the mayor and city council. After this morning, certain parts of Georgetown would have flooded. The mayor and city council chose to play a blame game. Ministers of government claimed there might be a direct attempt at sabotaging the government or trying to make the government look bad. The president, after hearing excuse upon excuse, after hearing excuse after excuse, the president decided to come on the ground himself and see. We have found no less than 2 operators sleeping, 1 totally missing from his work site, and wow, and a number of other irregularities. Only hours ago, former Minister Patterson made a post suggesting that pump attendants sleeping was a lie. It so happens that you have witnessed it here live. It's not a lie, it is live. Not only ridiculing those who have made mistakes, the president also congratulates employees who are doing a good job. So for those of you who've tuned into Daybreak News, the Guyanese Critic is coming to you from Georgetown on the ground with the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana to ensure that you, the citizens of Guyana, don't face hardships as a result of flooding. I feel fortunate, I feel honored to witness and be part of an operation that sees a president leading by example. For the first time, I'm feeling I'm having some bit of competition, so I'm very emotional at this time too. Guyana, we need to work together for the betterment of all Guyanese. Now we are just about to head out of the original area that we're checking on, since the president is doing assessments of flooding in and around Georgetown. The Guyanese Critic will take a break and come back to you live in a moment.